Best part of being GM CEO? Well, you get to drive an awesome vintage Corvette. But Dan Akerson, who you see in the photo there, he's selling that '58 Corvette. Jonathan Welsh, the columnist from the Wall Street Journal's Driver's Seat blog, joins us now. Jonathan, good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm great. How you doing?
Fine, thanks.
So tell us, of course, why is this '58 so special?
Well, it depends on how you're looking at it. The car itself, as far as Chevrolet Corvettes go, '58 was a big year for the Corvette. It went from being kind of a svelte, delicate-looking thing to being much more macho and aggressive-looking. They changed the grille. They gave it 4 headlights instead of just 2. Kind of a much meaner face than it had before. And it's around the time where they started seriously racing them in competition. So the car started to pick up some serious street cred right around '58. More horsepower, better handling. Not great handling yet, but still, it was starting to be considered a serious sports car at the time.
So tell us quickly, Jonathan, why is Akerson selling this car?
Well, he's involved with Habitat for Humanity, and he's made some donations to them in the past. And this is just in connection with this big car event called the Woodward Dream Cruise. That's a big Detroit thing. He's using that as kind of a backdrop for auctioning off this car and, trying to get top dollar for it, and the proceeds are going to Habitat for Humanity Detroit.
Now, tell us about, you're a big fan of the '63 Corvette yourself. Tell us about that one. Why are you such a big fan?
Well, that one would have been the next generation after this '58 that you're looking at, and it was much more futuristic looking at the time. It had kind of a Buck Rogers look to it. They seem a little dated when you look at them today, but they had the hidden headlights and kind of more jet age styling. At the time, in '63, the car looked like something out of a science fiction movie.
I got to say, I'm a big fan of the early '70s. Of course, the Stingray came in the '60s, but that like '71, '73 Stingray, I guess, is really, that's one of my favorites, I got to say.
Oh, yeah. Well, in that era, the cars got longer and more shapely. Some people refer to them as the Coke bottle era because they have that narrow waist, and it's funny. It's a design that for a long time the collectors didn't love so much, but now they've come around, and those cars are worth quite a bit now as well. In fact, as the age of collectors is changing, more people are going for those '70s cars, perhaps, than the '58 that Mr. Akerson is selling.
And yet, today's models are still selling very well.
They are. The Corvettes, they build them very slowly out of a special plant in Bowling Green, Kentucky. So they don't build that many, but they generally sell out every year, whether it's 20, 25, 30,000 a year. Some years are up, some are down, but generally they do pretty well. The car has a following.
And what's the core of that following, and what's really the legacy of this car?
Well, it's part of it is that it's been in consistent or constant production since 1953 when it came out. It's generally gotten better and better over the years. Chevrolet has been, the Chevy factory has a racing team, so that gives them credibility as sports cars. Oh, this car raced over the weekend and won a race, so you can go brag to your friends if you happen to have a Corvette in your garage.
Great.
I think that's the main following. It's people who, the horsepower-addled performance enthusiast likes this car.
No doubt, and it's a great excuse for us to get some car porn on the screen. We love it. Thanks so much for joining us this morning, Jonathan.
I wish him luck selling that car.
Oh, I think he'll do just fine. Thanks again for joining us.
Oh, anytime. Take care.